Psalm 35, hoping that God will vindicate his faithful servant. Psalm 35 is a poem in the book of Psalms in the Bible. It is attributed to King David, and is categorized as a psalm of lament. Psalm 35 reflects the emotions of someone facing persecution and injustice, seeking God's intervention and protection. In this psalm, David expresses his distress and calls upon God to defend him against his enemies. Thanks for choosing my channel. Please stay and click the like and subscribe buttons as a way of showing your appreciation for me as a content creator. The YouTube algorithm will be triggered, and it will show the video to more would-be viewers. By so doing, this channel will grow. The psalm begins with David asking God to take up his cause and fight against those who are attacking him. He describes his enemies as deceitful and malicious, seeking to harm him without cause. David pleads for God's intervention, asking for justice and protection. David then proceeds to describe the unjust actions of his enemies and their attempts to ruin his reputation. He expresses his trust in God's righteousness and asks for divine intervention to bring about their downfall. He prays that his enemies will be caught in their traps and suffer the consequences of their actions. Throughout the psalm, David expresses his innocence, and his desire for God to vindicate him. He calls upon God to deliver him from his enemies and to bring about justice. He affirms his commitment to praise and worship God, declaring his trust in God's faithfulness. Here are some lessons we can learn from Psalm 35. The psalmist, David, cries out to God for deliverance from his enemies. He trusts that God will bring justice to those who seek to harm him. This reminds us to place our trust in God's justice and not take matters into our own hands. Romans 12:19-21 My dear friends, do not seek revenge but leave room for God's wrath, for it is written, "It is mine to avenge, I will repay, says the Lord." On the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him, if he is thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. Throughout the psalm, David fervently prays for God's intervention and for his enemies to be confounded. This teaches us the importance of bringing our concerns and struggles before God in prayer, believing and knowing that he hears us and will answer according to his will. Praising God in all circumstances and declaring his goodness. This shows us the power of praising God even in difficult situations. It shifts our focus from our problems to God's faithfulness and brings comfort and peace to our hearts. David acknowledges that God's timing is perfect and that he will deliver him at the right time. He is never too late or too early. Thank you for watching this video. Please press the like button, smash the subscribe button, share, and hit the notification bell.